Chris Sims, Pro Football Talk Live co-host, and, of course, an analyst on Football Night in America. Chris joins us on the program. If Tom Brady was still the quarterback of the Patriots, what kind of offensive game plan would the Patriots have had last night?
I don't think it would have been, a little bit different. I don't think they're going to throw the ball 3 times. I think they're going to throw the ball more than that. First off, of course, he's, played more football. You can trust him in the situation a little bit more. And, listen, one of the things that's amazing about the game is we know the elements were bad, and one team won with 3 throws. To me, the other amazing thing about the game was a quarterback in Josh Allen where they just said, well, throw it 30 times. Who cares? It's hurricane winds. You could throw it through it, and he did. I mean, that's the amazing thing. And I think Brady would be somewhere along those lines. Not that New England would have to rely on the pass the way the Bills do, but I think Brady's arm, how big his hands are. His arm is one of the more underrated things, I think, in the history of the NFL, where sometimes, I think he's a little overrated in his goatness. I don't think he gets enough credit for how powerful his arm is and how many great games he had in tough weather up in New England. So let's say he gets 15 to 20 throws last night instead of just 3 if he's in New England.
When is the game plan finalized? When you know what the weather condition, when do you think Belichick or Josh McDaniels went, okay, this is what our philosophy is tonight?
I think that they probably started to really take into account, Wednesday or Thursday at some point to realize, hey, let's have a few extra runs in the game plan. Let's start to formulate a little bit if the weather's so bad that they had at least a de facto plan early in the week to go, we got to think about the game might be, not manageable through the pass game. So we got to think about ways to do that. And they're like, again, having worked there, I mean, there's just no stone unturned. It's at any point. The details, the smallest details, the most basic details, they're just constantly stressed day after day after day. And I would think early in the week they were on this, that there would be a factor and that they had to have at least some sort of a plan to attack that.
I know we want to give Bill Belichick credit, and he deserves a lot of credit as maybe the greatest coach in NFL history. But
right.
What role does Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator, play in saying this is what I would like us to? If Belichick deals with the defense and lets Josh deal with the offense, should we be crediting Josh McDaniels, not Bill Belichick?
Well, we should give Josh a lot of credit. There's no doubt. But I think ultimately it still goes back to Bill Belichick. This is why Belichick's the greatest coach ever. Not only is it about, the defense, and we know all that, but these long staff meetings he has, every day after practice where it's coach the coaches, all of them. Doesn't matter what side of the ball it is. It's coach the coaches time. We're going to go over it, and now I'm going to coach you on how to coach each one of these positions and what we should do in each situation. And, and again, even in my time there, Dan, McDaniel's as smart as anybody I've been around. Just Tuesday, I could be there running around making copies for things. Belichick and McDaniels could be in the corner of the hallway talking. I'd come back an hour later. They're still in the corner of the hallway talking. So I don't think anything happens there without Belichick. And even with the great offense of McDaniels and everything, it's built through Bill Belichick, to your point of why he's so great. Everything they do on offense, a lot of it is, when teams get in this formation and I'm in this defense, I don't like to see this. And then it's like McDaniel's going, okay, Belichick doesn't like to see this. Let me draw up the play to do that then. And that's how really the offense has been formulated there in New England to even accentuate, Belichick's greatness.
What would we be saying if the Patriots had the philosophy of 3 passes and they lost last night?
We would have been going, 3 passes? I understand being conservative.
They didn't blow him out, Chris.
I know. I think we'd all be going, at least let's get to 8 or 10. I think, I think to what you're asking, listen, there was a point in the second half where I was going, come on. Can we just give one play action or one boot here just to keep them a little honest? But he didn't want to take the chance. He didn't want to take the chance out of them being in 2nd and 7 and then 3rd and 4 and their ability to maybe even run the ball. Of course, they ran it a ton on 3rd down. But I think we would probably be, dissecting him a little bit in the fact that we'd like to see a few more passes.
More likely to miss the playoffs, the Bills or the Browns?
Ooh, I'm going to still go with the Browns on that one. I'm hopeful for the Browns because there's so much talent on the team, but I'm hopeful only because of that. Like, the defense is all over the place. You've heard me say, Dan, before, when the run game isn't good, the pass game in Cleveland just not good enough to stand alone. So that's an issue for me. Buffalo, again, it's still Josh Allen. He's a superstar, definitely one of the best quarterbacks in the football. That defense is still very good. I still have more faith in them. Close one last night. Josh Allen's wearing longer spikes against the Tennessee Titans. They probably win that game when they're down there running the quarterback sneak and he slips late in the fourth quarter. I think it's been more consistent in Buffalo throughout the year than Cleveland, that's for sure.
And Buffalo's been losing to all the teams that they're going to have to compete with if they get to the playoffs. Like they don't have, like, what's the signature win here? And I just don't get a good feeling. I didn't have a good feeling to start the year. I thought they relied on Josh Allen too much.
Right, that's right.
But I no. And I wonder if Cleveland would have been better if they had gone to Case Keenum and instead of letting Baker Mayfield go out there injured.
Yeah, I get that. Hey, Baker does bring value. There's no doubt, and that's where the coaches got to figure out, like, at what point is he hurting the offense? So that's a real thing, and it's again, the games haven't been good, but I also could sit there, Dan, and look at it and go, yeah, Baker, the Detroit Lion game for sure, missed some throws on that one. But some of these other games as of late too, I watch some plays and go, where do you want him to throw the ball?
Yeah.
Where? The New England game, I mean, there's nobody open. Baltimore game, I didn't come away watching that film going, oh man, people are open, Baker really messed up. Not at all. And that's where they're a little underwhelming. And your point about, I think Buffalo is spot on too. If you're staying the same, you're getting worse. It's like they kind of just went, wait, we were good last year. We'll do it all again this year. No, you need to improve your football team a little bit. And it is too Josh Allen reliant, to your point. And I think the other thing, too, is what we've seen, like especially in the Tennessee, the Colts, and the Patriots losses, when there's an overpowering, big offensive line running football team, they're a little compromised. They're not a big front seven team. They want to play basically nickel all game long. And, again, if they can get you to overplay the run the way they did in all those games, if you can just pass a little, you can expose them. And, of course, last night they didn't even have to pass to still have their way.
He's Chris Sims, Pro Football Talk Live co-host, the show that precedes ours on Peacock with Mike Florio. If I said you can have the Chiefs or the Patriots the rest of the year?
Chiefs. Patriots.
Oh.
Patriots.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm not taking the Chiefs yet. I can't do that yet. No. Again, I like what the Chiefs defense is doing. I know the Patriots is not sexy, but neither was 2001 Super Bowl run. I mean, just get used to 20-17, 23-14. I just think that's the style of play they are, but they're too consistent on both sides of the ball. Again, the other night with the Chiefs offense, they just can't seem to be consistent or get out of their own way, whether it's drop passes. Mahomes still missing throws where I'd go, man, the average NFL quarterback should make that throw, let alone Patrick Mahomes all these years. I see him do it with his eyes closed. So it's just it's a crazy year from that standpoint of I haven't seen a guy that was so amazing, kind of come back to earth and just not be that amazing in a lot of moments during the year.
We're running out of MVP candidates. Feels like it's Tom Brady. Yeah. Then there's a big separation. I guess Aaron Rodgers. I guess Mahomes is in there. I can't put Josh Allen in there.
No, you can't. I don't think you can put Mahomes in there either. Well, you can't. I don't think you can. We all want to. The touchdowns are going to be there.
Jonathan Taylor.
Right. I mean, hey, that's one guy I'll look at for sure. I think that could be in this conversation. Maybe if TJ Watt gets on fire here the last few weeks and gets to 22 sacks, somewhere in that range. But again, I don't know if it's going to matter if they don't get the playoffs.
They give it to the defensive player of the year. I mean, that's how they separate that. But it feels like Brady is just being Brady, maybe nothing special, but that might be good enough because everybody else has been inconsistent.
No doubt. I think, really Kyler Murray being out for a month it's going to cost him the MVP because I think there's a good chance they do end up with the top seed in the NFC playoffs. and he'd be that guy. Like, they jumped on the scene this year. He's the quarterback. Yeah. We know how dangerous he was. So his injury affected that. I'm with you in the fact that, yeah, it's probably Brady from the facts of wins and stats, but I guess what I would say a little bit is the name you brought up. To me, Aaron Rodgers right now, again, as annoying as he was during the COVID thing, he, is just a poster child for MVP. We see how average they are without him when he wasn't in there. He's special. Again, I don't think any of us think that the supporting cast is that great. It's good, no doubt, but not great. And to me, he's just a big, what he does to the line of scrimmage, having a feel for the overall game. I would look at him and Brady and probably Jonathan Taylor as the three guys right now.
No, I think it's going to hurt Rodgers with what happened.
Yes, I do too. You're right.
Yeah, and it should, because you're going to be the most valuable player, but then you miss the Kansas City game.
And maybe cost your team the number one seed.
Yes.
Right. I agree. That's going to come back to bite him in the butt most likely. But, yeah, the way the Brady is throwing the ball, their offense just continues to attack. It seems like, they're going to get the wins, and he's going to have the numbers to match it. It seems like it's lining up for that.
What's your opinion on the pseudo slide by Kenny Pickett, the Pittsburgh quarterback in the ACC title game?
It makes me want to puke. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all this protecting the quarterback crap. I mean, that's like cheating right there. It's cheating. It really is. Again, I'm not mad at him. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I understand that. But to me, this is another just little snippet of information that we have. Protecting the quarterback has gone just overboard. Some of the horrible calls in the NFL. The horrible call last night, Josh Allen is running. He jumps in bounds and gets hit, and they call hitting the quarterback too hard again. I didn't like it. I really don't. And I think that football has got to do something about it.
Wait, do you think quarterbacks are embarrassed by the protection they receive?
Like, I think they know how embarrassing it is, but they're going to try to do all they can to take advantage of it. I think they know. I mean, I think Brady and Rodgers and Josh Allen, like, they're tough football-minded guys, not just quarterbacks. But I think they also they realize, this bad football's getting rewarded. Hey, we didn't protect, nobody was open, but you hit me too hard. It's great. First down. Fantasy owners, we're still going. Offense is good. I think they know how embarrassing it is, but they're going to do their best to get a free 15 all they can, and I can't be mad at them for that.
Brady would not still be playing if this was the 1970s.
No way. Or the 80s?
Yeah, or the 80s.
Again?
Yeah,
right.
He would not.
I mean, I would have a hard time thinking so. I mean, just watching, my dad, Dan Marino, John Elway, Troy Aikman, the beating they took. The dead weight rule. Reggie White literally used to pick my dad up and just drop his weight on him and body slam him. And, my dad's shoulders are still paying the price for that. He would have a little more cartilage. Might be able to throw the ball overhand to his grandkids, but he can't do that anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's an issue there. Yeah.
Does Tampa have any issues that concern you heading into the home stretch?
A little bit. They do. It hasn't been clean the last 2 weeks. They were begging for the Colts to beat them. The Colts outplayed them. Again, last week, Atlanta hung around, had some long drives. Defensively, not playing that good right now. It's one of the first films I'm going to go watch here, Dan, when I get done. Just because, hey, Matt Ryan and company had a little success running the football. But, man, they're letting up a lot of plays in the pass game. They are. And I know they're just getting healthy in the secondary, but, not playing at the elite level that I think they're capable of. That's for sure. They're winning games. I know that, but I don't think it's their best football.
Great to talk to you, buddy. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, man. Be good.
That's Chris Sims, Pro Football Talk Live co-host and contributor to Football Night in America.